It begins in the quiet town of Maybrook, Pennsylvania, where everything seems ordinary until one night shatters the illusion. At 2:17 in the morning, 17 children from the same third-grade class vanish without a trace. Only one boy, Alex Lilly, is left behind. His survival raises more questions than answers, casting suspicion and unease across the town. For Justine Gandy, their teacher, the tragedy becomes personal. She is left trying to cope with guilt, suspicion, and the weight of being tied to the most horrifying disappearance the community has ever seen. From the opening frames, the film makes it clear that this is not a story of simple answers, but one of shadows that stretch into every corner of Maybrook. The film then shifts its focus to Archer Graff, the grieving father of Matthew, one of the missing children. His sorrow manifests as rage at the authorities, who he feels are moving too slowly. In parallel, the only child left behind, Alex Lilly, becomes a puzzle. His parents keep their windows covered in newspaper, refusing to let anyone see inside, while Alex himself grows more withdrawn. Justine feels drawn to him, her concern blending with her lingering guilt. The more she looks at Alex and his family, the more she feels something isn't right, and that the answers to the mystery may be hiding inside that house. As the investigation unfolds, more characters are pulled into the orbit of the disappearances. Paul, a local police officer and Justine's ex, struggles between duty and the old feelings that tie him to her. His presence complicates things, fueling suspicion that personal connections may cloud judgment. Meanwhile, James, a vagrant caught up in petty crime, stumbles into the story when he is arrested in a minor incident. His erratic presence and accidental discoveries make him both unreliable and essential. These new perspectives give the mystery more weight. The missing children aren't just an isolated case, but a thread that begins to bind multiple, fractured lives together. Soon the story introduces visions that blur the line between reality and nightmare. A strange woman, her face painted like a clown, begins to appear in Archer's dreams and in Justine's fractured sleep. Whether she is real or imagined remains uncertain, but her presence is disturbing enough to feel like a shared haunting. Surveillance footage provides cold fragments of truth, showing the children's paths on the night they disappeared, each trail converging on a place that should feel safe but doesn't. Archer's frustration pushes him to pursue his own investigation, convinced that the official channels are blind to the real danger. Attention once again turns to Alex's home. Neighbors whisper about odd behaviors, and his parents' blank, motionless stares only deepen the unease. When James breaks into the house, what he finds in the basement chills him to his core. There, children appear alive but unmoving, their eyes hollow, their bodies trapped in an unnatural stillness. It is a discovery too terrifying to ignore, but James struggles to share it with others. His voice is dismissed, his credibility questioned, and the secret of the Lilly household remains locked away, festering beneath the town's surface. As the hours drag on, Gladys, Alex's aunt, steps into the picture. She claims to be caring for him while his parents are unwell, but her explanations only raise more questions. The way she speaks about family obligations feels rehearsed, and her obsession with household rituals grows unnerving. At the same time, Marcus, the school principal, becomes entangled with Gladys in a way that feels both personal and dangerous. The rituals, the objects collected, the strange habits that repeat, it all begins to suggest that the disappearances are not just tragedy or crime, but something more ritualistic, more calculated. As the mystery deepens, tensions explode within the community. Paul and Archer clash with law enforcement and with each other, each convinced they know the truth. Justine, haunted by visions and by her own guilt, teeters between resolve and collapse. Their emotional unraveling is mirrored in their dreams, where images of the missing children, of the strange painted woman, and of Alex himself blend together. The sense of dread builds, not with loud confrontations, but with a suffocating certainty that the truth is far worse than anyone imagined. By now, the separate threads of the story begin to braid together. Alex's role is no longer one of a passive survivor. He becomes central to the questions everyone is asking. Gladys's rituals intensify, the collection of children's belongings takes on a sinister weight, and the shadow of the painted woman feels closer than ever. Justine's determination clashes with Archer's fury, both of them circling Alex's house as if the answers were buried within its walls. Every glance, every sound, Every repeated image hints that something monstrous lies just beneath the surface. In the final stretch before the climax, the tension hits its breaking point. Justine confronts her own fears. Archer pushes further into the heart of the mystery, and Paul faces choices that threaten to break him. Gladys's influence becomes suffocating, her rituals reaching a fever pitch. The missing children feel closer than ever, and yet impossibly far away. Every character stands on the brink of revelation, but the film refuses to hand over answers. Instead, it drives us deeper into paranoia, into the sense that the most terrible truths are waiting just beyond what we see. And this is where we stop. Weapons doesn't deliver easy answers, and this recap won't spoil the final revelations. What it does give us is a haunting mosaic, a community broken by loss, a teacher consumed by guilt, a parent driven by grief, an aunt shrouded in ritual, and a survivor who may not be what he seems. It is part horror, part psychological puzzle, and part meditation on how violence and fear spread through ordinary lives. If Barbarian made you wary of the dark, Weapons will make you question silence, ritual, and the very people you trust most. To see how these threads truly come together, you'll have to watch the ending for yourself.